Good morning, everyone. So have you been able to install SQL Server? It is important that we make a check before starting the session. Yes, everyone, have you been able to install? Anyone who has been getting difficulties? Okay, so nothing reported so far. So let us make a check that your SQL is running fine. So just give me a few seconds. I will share the document, not the document, but instead my window. In the meantime, I will ask you to sign in your attendance. Okay, so I have shared my screen. Should be visible on your side. So first of all, you all go to your search bar and you type services. Okay, so everyone, we are checking if SQL Server is properly running. You go to services. So when you go to services, you will get SQL Server. Okay, so everyone, have you been able to see SQL Server Express? It should be running. And for you, it will be automatic. Okay, everyone, please check if it is running. So if you don't see SQL Express here, this means that the database was not properly set up. Okay, is it fine for everyone? I move on. So this is SQL Server Express. Okay, so we are checking whether SQL Server is running. You need to go to Services. You find Services from your search bar. You click on Services. And then you should check if it is running. Okay, so seems to be okay for everyone. Next, we go and find out Management Studio, SQL Server Management Studio. Again, it depends which version you have been installing. Okay, when you open Management Studio, let me close this one. When you open Management Studio, you should get this screen. Okay, so I wait that you arrive up to this screen. Okay, so when you arrive at this stage, you need to click on connect. So you don't need to change any of these options. Sometimes if it does not connect, you need to click on browse and select SQL Express again. You will have your laptop name displayed. If it does not connect, and then you click on connect. Okay, so you will have a list of directory displayed here. Okay, so you will have on your left hand side a list of directory. Okay, so please, all of you, if you can reach to this step. Okay, so now we will create a new database. You right click and you click on new database. Okay, so for example, I put database DB week 3. We are in week 3 for the lab. You click on OK. The database will be created here. So now how to open a query window? It is important that you right click on the newly created database and you select new query. Okay, I repeat again. If you click anywhere else, your query will not execute properly. So on the database window, and here I have two sample tables. If I would like to create the first one, so right now you have tables here. There are no tables in this database. If I would like to execute, I highlight the SQL, I click on execute. So it tells me command successful. So I click on refresh. I will see my table that has been created here. So the view is different. You have the columns with a primary key, and also the key is a primary key, which is displayed here, and any constraints that you may be having. So you have triggers and so on. This will be for semester 2. So now if you try to create it again, it will tell you that employee already exists, so it will not be created. So now the second table, if you wish to create it, I select the codes, I click on execute, it will tell me it is successful. So I need to refresh sometimes to get it displayed. So as you can see, I have projects and I have employees that have been created. So now the linking between the primary key and the foreign keys have been done using the referencing keyword and the cascading option. Okay, so this is how you will create your query. Okay. So any questions before you start working lab sheet 4.1 and 4.2? So the work for today is lab sheet 4.1 and 4.2. Okay, but before that, everyone should have been able to connect to SQL database. Okay, so again, don't forget to sign your attendance. Okay, any questions? Okay, so no questions so far. So I assume that it is okay on your side. You have been able to install SQL Server. You have been able to connect as well. So now please continue your work on the practicals. And as usual, if you have any questions, just let me know. Send me a note on chat. Exercises on SQL Server. So please note that small mistakes like missing commas or syntax errors, it will be highlighted in the SQL window.
Sir, we can't use name as a column name. It is appearing in blue. Sir,
Sometimes it depends on the version that you are using. So as long as you are not getting any error, so you can proceed. Okay, because sometimes there are some reserved keywords. You can use another variable name if you wish. Remember, last time we did foreign keys using different names. So please check in table employee to which primary key it should refer to. So this is a situation where primary key and foreign keys are not using the same name. Okay, so it should be clear now. So manager ID is referring to employee ID. So the names are different. So the way you will write foreign key references, the other table will change. Okay, so any questions? We have almost reached the end of the session. So by now, I assume that you have been able to install SQL Server properly and write SQL, except one of you is working on Mac OS. So again, you will need to check your version and so on. And you have the equivalent SQL Server that can be installed, but the steps will be different. Any other questions? So you also have the next lab sheet, which I have already uploaded. So we have been doing the lecture already, so you can investigate the lab exercises. And also on SQL Server, we did a few exercises on LibreOffice, exercise 1. So you can also implement it on SQL Server for practice. Okay, so any other questions before we end today's session? Okay, so if there are no other questions, I will ask you to continue with your practicals, and then you have other examples that we have been doing you can implement in SQL Server. Okay, so don't forget to sign your attendance before you sign out. So as I informed you yesterday, next week will be the student week, no lectures and no labs. And after that, you will have your semester break. So we will be meeting again in January. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, we can end your lab session.
Goodbye, sir.
Okay, so goodbye to everyone. And you have your practicals, so please continue your exercises.